podcast is for conversation and educational purposes only. I am not, let me repeat, not a mental health clinician that's allowed to give you medical advice to go do some dumb shit. Yes, I said dumb shit. I do curse to express my individuality, so if that offends you, then please don't motherfucking listen. Now, y'all, enjoy the show. Are you tired of that bullshit? Toxic people in relationships. You may be dealing with a narcissist. Are you dealing with a narcissist? Who puts you down in every argument? You might be fighting your depression. Trying to figure out the lesson. Damn, what's the lesson? Maybe you're looking for a soulmate. Where she at? Where he at? But the dating scene ain't looking great. Well, I'm 2 keys and I'm in town. What's up? I'm gonna help you lay them burdens down. So please enjoy this episode of the Sexy Nurse Chronicles. Welcome to the Sexy Nurse Chronicles, a mental health podcast where we sip tea, y'all words my tea, and talk about love, relationships, and mental health. I am your sexy ass creator and host, Nurse Motherfucking 2 Keys.
How you do?
It's Kiki. What's 1 key plus 1 key? 2 keys. 2 motherfucking keys. Like I asked.
How you do?
So if I am new to you, just to let you know who I am, I'm a psychiatric registered nurse, student psychiatric nurse practitioner, award-winning student of academia, and some y'all said, bitch got a little authority, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here because I am a divorced mom of 2 who struggled through a childhood narcissistic relationship and ended up attracting narcissistic relationships in my adulthood, y'all. So I'm here to take y'all on my healing journey from victim to victor. So if there's anything that I say that you resonate with, make sure you like this video or download this if you're on audio, and like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. So when I drop some shit, you gonna be the first to get it, y'all. So this is a monumental episode for me. This is for y'all too. Everybody's been following me thus far. Thank you, my little faithful few. Amen. Okay. So y'all, this is the 2nd season, honey. I don't know if I want to be 2nd season number 1 or 2nd season episode 19. So you know what? I want to see the numbers go up. Fuck it. This is season number 2. Episode 19, y'all, honey. New cover art, new attitude, new everything, y'all. And it's my motherfucking birthday. Not only is it my birthday, y'all, it's the 2nd anniversary of the Sexy Nurse Chronicles podcast. And what makes this podcast so unique is not only are you getting some mental health ear candy and some laughs and shit, but you also getting some music and all kind of passions that I just made up out the fucking blue. Freestyle on the beat. Here we go, y'all. Happy birthday to me and happy anniversary to the Sexy Nurse Chronicles podcast. Go for it, 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 go for it. Happy birthday to me, Happy birthday to Keys, and happy anniversary from me and you and we. Go for it, go. It's your birthday. Go for it, go. It's your birthday. Go for it, go. Go for it, go. Go for it, go. It's your birthday. Go 2 keys. It's your birthday. Go 2 keys. It's your birthday. And your anniversary. Go, 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 go. Y'all, thank y'all for coming. If you're new, yes, honey, you have been introduced to a podcast, Sexy Nurse Chronicles Mental Health musical. I bitch will start rapping and freestyling at any time. You just sit for the ride, okay? And that sound what?
Harriet!
Okay. So y'all, let's get into this motherfucker. Let's talk about these codependent relationships that you and me and them and Shim and him and them done been in. Let's talk about what happened in episode number 1. I know y'all remember. I'm sorry. Season number 1, episode number 14, when I talked about trauma bonding. But this last episode before this one, the last season, episode number 18, we talked about codependent relationships. So I'm finna wrap all this shit I talked about from episode 1 to episode 10 about narcissism, all types of abuse from everybody. If you knew, welcome, honey. Go back, rewind, come back, meet us right now. We'll be waiting on you, okay?
Okay.
But no, seriously. Episode number 1 to number 10 gave you the different aspects of narcissism from a professional standpoint that I do not have the authority to give you. This is just for conversation and educational purposes only. But yeah, I showed you different types of narcissism, huh? I just might be a fucking narcissist guru after we finish this. I might just talk about that, codependent relationships and trauma bonds, because they're so common. They're so common, and we don't even know we in them.
What the hell, bro?
Ain't that some shit? So that's why I'm here to educate y'all. So thank y'all. Thank you, baby.
Okay.
Thank you, bruh. Thank you, sis. Thank you, TT. Thank you, Unc, honey. Thank you, bestie, for coming through. Let's talk about how to break these codependent trauma bonds, because like I said before, just say it again. Am I repeating myself? It don't matter. Shit, it's my show. I do what the fuck I want. But yeah, episode number 14, we talked about the phases of trauma bonds. And then this last episode before this one, if I went on my little hiatus to get sexy, darlings. Sexier, anyways. We talked about codependent relationships, but see, the thing about trauma bonding and codependent relationships is just not on a relationship intimate level. You have these levels with your mama, with your daddy, with your cousin, with your friends. So we, over this little series, we finna break it motherfucking down. Okay? But we gonna start with what we know first. We gonna start with the presents, honey. These low down ass, motherfucking narcissistic, toxic ass people. Your sis is here, bruh. I got you, bruh. I love you, bruh. I finna be telling you how these hoes do you. And sis, you know I got you, baby. I'm finna ring the alarm. I been going too long. I be damn if I let him see another chick on his arm. Yeah, that's a different story. That's for another day. We'll talk about that later. But anyways, let's just recap on what trauma bonding is. Because these are some signs that you could be in a trauma bond. And you don't know that you're going to have this trauma bond experience, because it's like experiences over time that just bring y'all closer and closer. But it's not healthy experiences. It's some bullshit experiences, some good experiences, some trying to make it experiences. But this really ain't working out experiences. But we too motherfucking hard-headed, okay? To read the red flags, because we just want some shit to work. We tired of going from motherfucker to motherfucker, honey. I'm tired of learning what your motherfucking favorite color is. I'm tired of learning what your middle name and your name is and all your motherfucking kids. I love the kids. Don't get me. Well, fuck them kids, but I love the kids, but fuck the kids. But y'all know what y'all know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm tired of going through that again. I'm ready to sit down. I didn't say sit. I'm ready to sit down. I'm from the South, baby. If y'all didn't know, I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm actually from East Nashville, Tennessee. There's only a few of us. This little hood, but honey, they done gentrified that motherfucker. Just like these motherfucking trauma bonds. So y'all, if anything that I say, y'all feeling, make sure you at least like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so we can keep in touch and shit. Because I want to talk to y'all. I love y'all so much. Honey, if you are a listener from season 1, you heard me go from learning about narcissism and, well, talking about it, expressing my experiences.
I mean, you don't think something like that? You don't think something like that?
A mad black woman So now I don't even talk about them motherfuckers half the time no more, honey. We done moved on to some more shit. But the thing is, you never forget where you came from. So you know where the hell you going. Or something like that. Y'all know how it goes. So y'all, let's get into this. Let's just do a little recap of what a motherfucking trauma bond is. Y'all ready? So a trauma bond, it is a unhealthy attachment that develops from a cycle of physical and or emotional. Well, it really starts emotional first. Normally niggas don't get physical on the first day. They get emotional first.
Bitch, where the fuck you at?
They start acting like bitches. You know what I'm saying? She start acting like, you know what I'm saying? And then eventually start throwing them hands one day like they can't keep their hands in their pocket. Yeah, usually starts. But hell, either way, physical, emotion. When it get physical, y'all, it's time to go. I'm just letting you know right now.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I like to joke and play around about wanting to fight and stuff and put petroleum jelly on my cheeks so the punches can slide off because y'all got me fucked up. But today we ain't fighting, okay? We don't need no more charges. Okay. We need some positive charges. That's what we need. We need the universe to bring us in good karma from the good shit that we done did from that fucking motherfucker up. You get it? Okay. But anyway, so trauma bonds, we're gonna start off with this season, this new season, honey, because we done moved on from that little mad shit, honey. I know you probably want a little recognition. I ain't giving the devil no props, honey. I work too motherfucking hard. Y'all know who I'm giving it to. Finger right there, the emoji with the finger up to the sky. Stop playing with me. Okay. But anyway, so trauma bonds, they're common in romantic relationships, and because it's really hard to process a relationship that's so awesome, feels so good. But then when it's bad and it's confusing because, like, how could it be this bad when you were so good? How could it? I don't know. I'm about to make it sound good. But not for real. Like, how could it be so bad when it was so good? You know, when it's bad, then they turn around and be like, is you hungry? You know I'm hungry. Shit, but still fuck you. But yeah, I'm hungry. I want to eat. I love to eat. Y'all know I do. Stop playing with me. And, you know, trauma bonds, they are usually, a trauma bond is a bond that, like I said, it's an unhealthy ass fucking attachment. It's an unhealthy attachment that transpires over time. You know, you usually get lucky when a motherfucker get on your nerves the first or second day. You're like, this ain't gonna work. But these type of people, they woo you, honey. They listen to you when you pillow talk, when you talking about your deepest fears and everything you like, your name, your last name, your favorite color, favorite ice cream, honey. When you get down sometimes and you just get mad, you get vulnerable, you talk about stuff in your family or this and that, and sometimes they may be there when somebody passes away or a traumatic experience, and they are there. When I tell you, they're in the clutch, grabbing you, holding you while you crying.
I mean, like, you don't think something like that. You don't think something like that.
They are, but what they do is, this is what happens. They turn around and use those moments when they get mad at you. So all these little pillow talks, all the things that you confided in them that apparently wasn't a problem at the time when you said something. But when a motherfucker get mad, you want to talk about what you did, who you did, before you did, when you did, after you did, your family, your kids, your auntie, your good. This is why your mama, just low, bro.
I mean, like, you don't think something like that. You don't think something like that.
You know, that shit be making you mad. But it's like when they get you in the position where they want you, like to move in real quick. That's what they like to do, make you move in real quick. So, yeah, I'm skipping ahead of my little lesson, honey. Let's talk about it. So, the first phase of trauma bonding is love bombing. This is where these motherfuckers want to, honey, woo you. They be like, take my money. My house and my car. For one bit of. Okay, let me stop, honey. Yeah, honey. What I'm saying, woo you, baby. You don't know what to do. But I'm going to tell you something. This type of woo still gives you a kind of funny feeling in your gut.
I told you. I told you.
And that's the beginning of the relationship with that narcissist or toxic person. Honey, they find you. You're the new supply. Really, you should have been doing research and like who was the bitch before me, because she might have been got knocked off on a Lifetime movie. Because these motherfuckers is real thrown out. I'm telling y'all. Okay.
I told you. I told you.
Honey, y'all better fact check me. Go ahead, put in the comments. I ain't mad about it. Because, honey, I'm telling you, you'd rather be safe than be sorry. Okay. And that's on what?
Harriet!
And they sweep you off your motherfucking feet like the flattery. They give you the attention, the time, the gifts, the trips, the sex, expensive dinners, handbags, red bottles. Bro, she's throwing that thing on you, cooking for you every night. Whatever makes you comfortable. That's where that love bombing phase comes from. And it's just, whatever that can just to get your full attention. And then the second stage is gaining your trust. So after the love bombing, here comes that trust phase. You done left your guard down. They done gained your trust. You fall into their trap. They might get you to depend on them. And like I said before, might convince you to move in with the motherfuckers or move into a relationship pretty quickly. Yeah. And this could happen within days or weeks or months. And, I had a coworker that asked me, she was like, hey, I've been dating this guy, really nice guy. And I really like him, but I feel like we're talking about moving in together and we're just kind of rushing. I feel rushed. I said, baby, whatever you feel in your stomach, that is your extra brain cells. You got brain cells. Y'all can, honey, quote me on this motherfucker. EBP, evidence-based practice. You can look at scholarly articles, google.com. You have neurons. That's your brain cell, what you think. They be moving your brain and shit so you can think of stuff. In your head, you got in your gut, honey. You do. You have quite a few other things in your gut, but that hunch in your gut, go with it. Because you done noticed. You can't tell me. Tell me down in the comments anybody that could say that they didn't go with their gut and they was right. Because every time you should have went with your gut, you was right and you know it.
And you know this, man?
And you know it. But that's okay. Because we live and we learn. And the more you stop going with that gut and start making mistakes, you're going to start listening to that motherfucker after a while. Now, honey, I can hear a rat piss on cotton. Honey, red flag. Move the fuck on. Because when you know, you know. So anytime you have that hunch, honey, let that motherfucker go.
Cut that bitch off.
Okay, what we gonna do?
Cut that bitch off.
And that's on what?
Harriet!
All right, y'all. So phase 3. Criticism and devaluation. This eventually y'all done got cool, y'all done got real comfortable with each other, moved in and started swapping feet and sharing faces and then sucking faces and all that stuff. So phase 1, love bomb. Phase 2, got your trust. And then here comes the motherfucking plot twist, bitch. That's when all the nitpicking and the fights start, and they start criticizing you and start trying to make you feel bad about yourself.
I mean, like, you don't think something like that? You don't think something like that?
Like I said, all the little pillow talks y'all had back when you was trying to trust him, throwing it on your face and trying to belittle you, and it can make you feel sad than a motherfucker, angry, frustrated, miserable, fucking depressed. And it's confusing because you're like, what is this motherfucker I fell in love with? Like, what the fuck happened? And they so low down, they'll deny you of your own truth. They got you making you feel like you crazy when they sound really dumb as fuck. They sound real fucking irrational.
Saw me on the counter.
Wasn't me.
Saw me banging on the sofa.
The fuck it wasn't.
I'ma kill his ass!
Honey, you got me all the way fucked up. I was born at night, but not last motherfucking night. And so this is the tactic. They'll get you riled up just so you can react, and then you act a fool. It's called reacting active abuse because you reacting to their abuse so they can laugh at you. So they can watch you make a fool of you when you know you right. But they some low down motherfuckers. I'm telling you.
You ain't shit. And you never gonna amount to shit.
And so now you mad for no fucking reason, bitch. And you big mad. If you mad, you big mad, sis. You big mad, bruh. They done gaslight you just so they can go out with their friends or whoever they little nigga or little bitch want to go be hot and shit. That's what I'm saying. It's a tactic. So you got to know what to do if you in it. Eventually you need to get out of it. But the biggest thing is not to give in to it. You know what I'm saying? So you can't give them a reason to. But you can only do that so much before you start fucking going crazy.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Start snapping on the motherfucker. So you're defending yourself. And if you're not defending yourself and you start to feel bad, you over apologize and thinking something's wrong with you. They are, they in return, they're making you feel like you crazy. So either they gonna go to phase 4, which is gaslighting, or they gonna send you back to 1, which is love bombing, because they know your ass might leave. But after so many of these phases, you don't. So you eventually move to phase number 4. That's gaslighting. That's the gaslighting, and it's actually a psychological type of abuse. You know, they do this so they can control the narrative, and this is what they get you to feel like you're going crazy. They'll invalidate your feelings. They won't even listen to your feelings and say, I understand. They say, fuck your feelings, or ignore your feelings, or really ignore your feelings, or say, fuck your feelings. And narcissists, they don't give a fuck about your feelings unless it's a game for them. Because in their little delusional, their little delulu minds, you're always wrong and they're always right. So then there's phase 5. Resignation and submission phase. This is where you say, okay, I'm tired. So after the love bomb and the trust, you know, got you where you want, they got you where they want you.
Got him.
Then comes the criticism, the devaluation, the nitpicking, the fighting, then the gaslighting, and then eventually, you bitch, you tired of fighting. You're tired. A bitch is tired. Not TIED. Like the little girl, you remember the little meme? I'm tired, baby. I'm tired. So eventually you just give up. Your energy's drained and you ready to move on because you want to go back to phase number 1. So can we Brian Midnight start it back at 1, or are we gonna just finish going through these last little 2? You know, like I told you, these phases from 1 to 7, they don't have to go in that order. They're not linear, meaning straight. Honey, you can go from 1 to 3 to 5 to 7 to 8, 10. But you better know, if you still with that motherfucker back then and now, you know what's up. And so, yeah, eventually you give up. You say, okay, you're right. I'm wrong. You do the farm response. You know what? You're right. I'm a piece of shit. You know what? I don't want to fight anymore. You know, I'm sorry. You know, and that's what they want. They want that control back over you. But some of them, honey, even though you say, you're right, I'm wrong, just to make them shut the fuck up. Sometimes they'll apologize. Eventually they won't, because they're going to notice that, honey, you going to get tired of them apologizing. They tired of apologizing. They really ain't going to apologize. So eventually it gets worse. You know, sometimes they just wake up the next day and ask you, is you hungry? Bitch, you know I'm motherfucking hungry.
Yep.
You know I want to eat.
What kind of shit is that?
So, honey, one thing I learned from all this I've been through all these seasons, I'm always keeping me a little change in my pocket. I'm always keeping me a little job in the socket. Okay? Yeah. So if I gotta fuck with a nigga and drop him, honey, I'll be okay, because I can still buy me a double whopper. And then phase number 6, loss of self. So after going through this phase 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, start right back at 1, eventually you lose yourself. You know, after some time, after all these trauma experiences, eventually you form a trauma bond, a codependent relationship, and it breaks down your self-confidence, your self-worth. You become disconnected, isolated, and you at a loss when it comes to your self-identity, because you're so used to trying to conform to the identity of the narcissist and what they want you to be, because you remember they delulu. That motherfucker, that little Chanel. So whatever they feel like they want you to be, that's what you've been trying to conform to. You've been walking on eggshells. Well, baby, today we gonna crack them motherfuckers. Fuck them eggshells, fuck you, and fuck what you stand for. I love y'all. Yeah, over time, honey, they'll tell you how to dress. A narcissist will tell you how to dress. They'll tell you how to talk. They'll tell you how to walk. Just to conform. They might even tell you how to fucking eat. Because, honey, what I'm gonna tell you, with a narcissist or a toxic person that you're not supposed to be with, they will love your fucking dirty draws. But 3 days later, and you say something to piss them off, you are Satan fucking hell. You ain't never had a good bone in your body, and you ain't never done shit for them. What Beyonce say? The first time I said no was like I never said yes. Like I never told you yes before. Ungrateful. That's how they low down ass do. They forget real quick. Get amnesia.
Wasn't me.
And yeah, you're a piece of shit.
Yup. You ain't shit. And you never gonna amount to shit.
You know, it's not supposed to be like that. That's not healthy, y'all. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's horrible. No. Yeah, my ex-husband tried to change me over years. There was one time when I was tired from doing a school event. Honey, been studying, doing exams, and he was like, let's go out tonight. I'm like, okay. Well, I still had on my little event shirt. Well, it was a little collar shirt or something from school, and just some jeans. And I'm like, okay, we'll go to the movies, you know. He's just like, you ain't gonna dress up? I made a whole fucking idea. And then he stormed out the house, fully dressed, smelling good, looking great, to go do whatever the fuck he wanted to do, while I sat here looking crazy like, what the fuck just happened?
But what the hell, boy?
But it's okay. It's okay because I understand it now. I see it for what it is, and I call that shit. So, unfortunately, I don't even get that far in dating now, or thankfully, I don't even get that far in dating now to where I see some red flags, motherfucker, I'm gone. I'm not finna lose myself for not another now. And that's on what?
Harriet!
All right, child, moving on to phase number motherfucking 7, the addiction phase. If y'all are feeling anything that I'm talking about, if y'all feeling me right now, please make sure that you like this damn video and make sure you hit that notification bell so we can get more, we can talk and things. Honey, and if you've been through this, tell me your story down at the bottom, because what we are going to do, we're going to create a community. This is a healthy space. So if you come in my comments talking that bullshit, you gonna get blocked real quick.
Cut that bitch off!
And that's on what?
Harriet!
Okay. Phase number 7, the addiction phase. After the abuse, you have the love bombing. That positive reinforcement. You know, like when you're a kid and you do a good job, you make a great grade on your test, your parents, they give you a positive reinforcement. They say, great, good job, keep doing. They tell you things or give you things or show you ways that they appreciate what you doing, what the fuck you doing, because you doing what the fuck you doing. But see, in a trauma bond and this type of thing, after all the abuse, they hit you with the love bomb and treat you like a queen or a king again. So what they're doing is they're rewarding you for putting up with their bad behavior by making you go through all these phases just to Brian McKnight get back to one, the love bombing phase. That's where we become addicted, man. That's that addiction. And I love the way Dr. Romney, if y'all don't know who she is, Google her. Dr. Romney, she's like the narcissistic recovery narcissist guru. And she explains the trauma bond in a codependent narcissistic relationship just like you're gambling at a casino. And this hit me hard because I love the casino. I love to play blackjack. Honey, get me at the table with some good blackjack players and some drinks, honey. We talking smack and making money all night long. Love it. right? But she explained it as like when you sit down and you begin to gamble and the blackjack, you have to get 21. You have to beat the dealer or get 21. And just say you get a 21 off the rip. Honey, so that means you get your bet and a half back to you on top of your bet. Okay? You're already making money. So I like this relationship with me and this dealer. Honey, deal me another one again. So, you may lose one. You're like, that's okay. But then the next one, you win that hand on top of the side bets, the side poker hand, and I don't know, the progressive or the Buster Blackjack or the poker hand. You won both of them. You're bringing in more money. So that dopamine in your system, that's that feel good chemical in your brain that says, give me more. Whether it's sex, whether it's gambling, whether it's love, whether it's drugs, whether it's something, whether it's food, whether it's something that's feeding your soul, and your soul says, yes. So you're feeding your soul. Mm-hmm. With all this good shit, and it's good, but then you lose some hands, and then you start losing more hands, and you're like, okay, my good streak is coming, my good streak is coming, and then eventually it does, but that's after you done been to the ATM 2, 3 more times, ran through that hand that you won. That's how a narcissistic, toxic trauma bond is. You're gambling in your relationship to go back to one. Back to those experiences, back to that love, the original love, what they did to get you. Obviously, is not what they're doing to keep you, but that's what you're looking for, and you're hollering at them. And eventually, they digress, or you digress, or however that toxic shit goes, and you start back at one. But then, if you're going through these cycles, y'all, this is real shit. Let's start breaking some generational curses, some relational curses. Let's cut that shit out. If we know, honey, you ain't treat me right, I don't feel right. You don't. If I tell you time after time, it shouldn't take years. It shouldn't take you debating your security versus your insecurity to figure out, am I going crazy or not? Do I need to be here or do I need to bounce? If you have to think about it and you got to contemplate, baby, it's time to go. And on that note, I'm going to hit y'all with one of my favorite segments, guys. So, those of you who are new to this season or new to this episode, I have a segment kind of like the strawberry letter with Steve Harvey, but it's called Dear Kiki, where you send me letters, either audio or email, and I read them and I give you my advice, and that's all I give. You're anonymous. So, y'all, I'm finna hit y'all with a Dear Kiki. Dear Kiki, 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 that's me. Dear Kiki, I spent more than 15 years, 12 years of marriage, in an abusive relationship with a narcissist. We met young, and to be honest, I was running from an abusive childhood and home life growing up. Though the red flags were there from the beginning, I didn't see them and saw him as a rescuer because he, quote unquote, helped me escape from my toxic family. But in reality, he saw me as an easy target and preyed on my childhood trauma as ways to trap me mentally for many years. Throughout the relationship, I endured horrific emotional abuse, which instead of helping me heal from my childhood, convinced me I was helpless, worthless, and incapable of surviving without him. His hot and cold attitude made me feel like I was always letting him down and needed to always do more to be more worthy. I thought, from my experience growing up, that this was normal. I became addicted to this cycle and tried harder and harder to please him. I believe that having any boundaries with him made me selfish. And I deserved his abuse because I was nothing without him. So the emotional abuse quickly escalated to financial and then physical abuse that had me in major debt and in the hospital more than one occasion. Bless your heart, baby. Thank you. Thankfully, I eventually realized my worth and we divorced. I then spent years trying to emotionally move past the relationship and heal. But now, but now I worry how this will affect our son. What advice would you give about breaking generational curses and making sure that we won't be caught in the same cycle? Sincerely, a concerned mom and narcissistic abuse survivor. Who y'all? I think I forgot to put my extra trigger warning in the front because I'm feeling it. But you know what? That's why I'm here with transparent. This story right now, it sounds like my story. And the episode hadn't even come out yet. That lets me know that this is confirmation from the divine. That everything that you're hearing right now under the sound of my voice and everything that I'm recording under the sound of my voice, that these thoughts are supposed to be. And the fact that you spent more than 15 years in any type of the relationship and you got out, baby, I'm standing up right now. Hold on, let me get up. I motherfucking applaud you, bitch. Yes, honey. Baby, it ain't easy getting out of nothing like this. Because the thing is, it's like the longer you stay in it, the harder it is to get out of it. Because you keep on investing so much into it. Especially if you're worried about what other people have to say or they're chiming in. Because their life is halfway as decent or anywhere near. They're going to try to give you advice. But honey, all these motherfuckers is struggling. They ain't going to never give you the real truth. But I am today. And so, baby, I commend you, baby, for letting go. And thank you for writing me. And so she said we met young, to be honest. And she was running from a childhood, a home life growing up. Same story as me. When I started this podcast, I thought it'd be talking about me coming out of my marriage and dating on a new scene and being funny and having jokes and shit. And y'all see how it turned out. I had to go back and tap back in chronological. The sexy nurses chronological order. I had to go back to my childhood and figure that out. You know what I'm saying? And so if you ain't went back there yet, and you just trying to face life as what it is, and you find somebody that you think that they're helping you, they're rescuing you. When you're young, you don't know everything. I'm sorry you don't. I've learned in psychology, yes, it's in the books. Quote me on it, bitch. I don't give a fuck. The front of your forehead, that's your prefrontal cortex. And that's where your decisions and your impulses are made. And that part of your brain is the last part of your brain to grow. From the breathing and stuff, the back of your brain to the front of your brain, what you just making decisions, that's the last part to grow. So we make a lot of decisions, about 25-ish. Yeah. So when you meet these people young and you don't know this and you just think that this is normal. You think this is it. You think he's my rescuer. But she said he saw me as an easy target and preyed on my childhood trauma. You remember I just said, I swear, y'all, this is crazy. This is crazy. I said back then, they'll go back and those pillow talks that you have with them, those intimate moments that you have with them, yeah, they turn around and use it on you later to manipulate you and make you feel bad about yourself. Honey, you can't tell them nothing about this because they going to argue you so quick. You going to run out of breath from screaming for no fucking reason. Toxic, baby. Cut that shit out. Let that shit go. Yeah, but they see you as an easy target because they know, oh yeah, You know, if you wasn't an easy target, that means you be closed up. I ain't telling you shit. You better tell me something first. What's your name is? Where you come from? But no, she said throughout the relationship, I endured horrific emotional abuse, in which instead of trying to help me heal from these childhood wounds that I thought you was here to help me from, it's like you were just stabbing me. That's how I feel, like you're just stabbing me, making me feel like I'm helpless, I'm worthless, unworthy, and incapable of surviving without him. Y'all, quick note. My ex told me when if I left him when we were married, if I left, we were still living together before the big blow up, episode number 6. He said if I left him, that wasn't no man want me for nothing, but just what the goods, my my cookies, my Gigi, my vajiji. He told me that God wouldn't bless anything that I have after him, because I'm talking about leaving, even though this motherfucker ain't treating me right. And I'm like, well, God is gonna do for me what I said earlier, back in those arguments. God is gonna do the same thing he did for me before I met you is what he gonna do after you. And yeah, I've been saying that because I knew that, but I didn't believe it at first, because at first you're sick, you feel worthless, you feel incapable of surviving, but when you do, baby,
How you
you
do?
gonna shit on him, fuck it. And she said his hot and cold attitude made me feel like I was always letting him down or needed to do more to be worthy. That hot and cold attitude. Sometimes you're cool, and then one day you're fucking cold. You're warm and fun and fuzzy. Next thing you're cold and hard as a fucking brick.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
There's nothing that we said or did, or it's probably something that happened out there in the streets. But when a narcissist, what they do, because they some bitches, they don't confront them out there in the streets. They confront it to the people in the home, the people that give a fuck about them. You know that bitch ass and shit, honey. Bitch ass.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Anyways, or like you always have to do more to be worthy. But it's like when you ask them to, well, correct this issue or correct this attitude or correct, honey, it's like talking to a fucking brick wall. Baby, oh, I know your story. And she's like, she said, from my experience growing up, that this was normal, and I became addicted. Do you hear she said, I became addicted. And the cycle, it was harder and harder to please him going through the cycle. It gets harder and harder over the years, the decades, centuries. I swear it did. And he made me believe that having boundaries made me selfish. And y'all know anything about a motherfucking narcissist. One way to spot a narcissist out, all you gotta do is say accountability.
Say what?
Yeah. Because that's one thing they don't know how to do. They don't know how to take accountability for their actions, and they don't like boundaries. Take a little bit of that Holy Oil too and put a boundary on that bitch. Watch the motherfuckers melt like fucking witches from the fucking east. I'm telling y'all. But in any healthy relationship, that's work, that's relationships, that's family, that's friends, co-worker, whoever. People you meet, there are boundaries. Everybody has a right to their boundaries. Boundaries is a human given right. So anytime you put up a boundary, you stand on that boundary, and a motherfucker don't like it, they can do what?
How nasty of you!
I don't have one for kiss your ass, but yeah, they can kiss your motherfucking ass. And that's on what?
Harriet!
Okay. Y'all better stop playing with me. But yeah, it's really sad too. And she said like the emotional abuse escalates to financial abuse. I don't know if you had anybody to actually steal from you, whether it's money or it's a family heirloom or it's something that belongs to you. A lot of times in a breakup, a narcissist will steal whatever they feel is of value to you, because you're not a person anyways, you're an object. So they don't even value the connection that you have with whatever they've stolen from you, even though it's yours, rightfully yours. They're thieves. They'll not only steal your money, they'll steal your joy, they'll steal your best friend, they'll steal your honey, your daddy, your mama, they'll steal your family, they'll try to win them over to prove you look like an asshole for leaving them. They'll try to steal money, joy, anything that they can take from you to see you go down. That's what they'll take. But I'm going to tell you something. You can't never take God from me. And I'm talking about the real God. I'm talking about the God that comes through for those who love him. I'm talking about the ones that are still good to people, even when people aren't good to them. I'm talking about the ones that still try to do right in spite of. I'm talking about the ones who were left neglected, who were betrayed, who were lied on. I'm talking about them who was doing nothing wrong. I'm talking about them. I'm talking about the people that had it hard and had to get it out the mud, but had the underdog story. Yeah, I'm talking about you, the chosen one. Yes, honey, the chosen one. When you are chosen, though, no matter what the fuck they do, they can't knock you. They can't knock you off your shit. And this podcast is a living testimony because I was only, a year into this whole thing of being independent and being by myself without a husband of a decade, being a single mom, turning my passion, my hobbies into a passion. This podcast, going back to school, a master degree level school, taking care of girls, just trying to be social, trying to be healing, trying to be who I preach on this motherfucking podcast. You see, it ain't hard for me. It ain't hard for me. I don't stress. Honey, y'all done seen the progress. It takes time. So, baby, I love the fact that you took all that time, 15 years, and you still came back and you said, fuck that nigga. You finna do you.
Cut that bitch off.
And then she asked, how can you give advice on breaking generational curses? Baby, you just did. Because I'm sure your mom's mom or mom's mom were there for people pleasing, were giving into toxic relationships and toxic abuse because you are who you come from. So I'm sure that your family, you come from a lineage of people that's done been hurt. Hurt people. But now you know how that hurt sounds and you care about that hurt. You're researching that hurt, that shadow work. You working on yourself. You got through it. You pushed through it. You got a divorce. You still healing from it. Believe me, sometimes I know them little triggers come. They still coming and picking. But honey, what did the Lord say? He said those weapons, they may form, but they ain't gonna never, ever prosper. And that's what the narcissists hate, y'all. That's how you kill them. We're gonna do a whole episode on how to kill a fucking narcissist.
And you know this, man.
Get your shine on, bitch. That's what the fuck you do.
Harriet!
But she says she wants to make sure that this doesn't happen, to her son. Because I will say that with trauma bonding, if you are co-parenting with a very toxic person, narcissist or narcissistic traits, that's how I say either you diagnosed with it or you just got the traits. You got enough of them. It's an issue. With those type of people, if they can't control you and you finally get on your own and you put your feet on you 10 toes down, you have your own place, you show them I can work, I can get a job, and I can still go to school without you or whatever, I can take care of these kids, I can do it. Strong black man, strong black woman, I can do it.
I told you.
Even when you said I couldn't, you said I wasn't gonna make it, said I wasn't gonna be shit, said nobody wasn't gonna fuck with me. Don't nobody love me but you. And how you remember that? And now I'm about to graduate in May.
Huh?
Ain't nothing but the blood of God. Y'all better stop playing with me. Ain't nothing but him. And so what they do is they'll try to get your kids or your family or people against you. And with kids, it's tough because if you dealing, you have to through the legal system have to co-parent with a narcissist, then you have to still do visitation, and there's child support, and there's all those things. Man, he ain't been paying child support since when? That was just a punishment. Now it's like biting him in the ass. But regardless, it's like your kids see you. So the goal is to teach your kids what manipulation is. Teach your kids what narcissism means. Teach your kids what codependency means. So that the next motherfucker, including they parent, can't run up on them. They can recognize things, have those conversations, build that relationship, because you're going to need a relationship with your kids if you're co-parenting with a narcissist. You're going to need that. And you're going to need your documents when the motherfucker ain't on time. Screenshot stuff when they threaten you. You got to keep your ducks in a row. But I will say, for those who love God, those who love the Lord, those who not trying to keep them from their mom or mom from their dad just to be assholes, or, you know what I'm saying, those who are actually working in co-parenting, I salute you. And unfortunately, kids, not only do adults who are in relationships form trauma bonds with each other, but when the narcissist can't get to you, the supply, they form trauma bonds with the kids. And so this is that love bombing. You're so great. You're this, you're that. And then they manipulate the kids into getting to the other person's business, to tell the other parent's business, or to start drama. And when they do good, they get praised. And when they don't, they are looked down as, oh, you're ingrate, or you're ungrateful, or you're just like your mama, or you're blah, 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 blah. So kids, they endure trauma bonds from narcissistic parents as well. And so that's where the education comes from, to, validate our children. You're awesome. You're this. This is what's going on. You ain't got to go in full detail of what mama and daddy's going on, but hey, this is the basis. This is what you do. If you feel this way, let me know. Give your kid that safe space. So with that being said, I want to thank you, anonymous reader, listener, fan, for sending your story in, because that's a testimony for many of us. Many of us. And guys, also, look, a bitch is broke. I don't ask for money much, but y'all, buy your girl a glass of Taylor Port. The link will be in the description box below, so I can get some new cameras and things and all that good shit, and I can be more consistent, because I'd rather do this as a job or as a career. And so I pray that this podcast just continues to keep multiplying. Thank you for those who have been supporting. Make sure before you get up out of here, make sure you hit that notification bell, like, share, subscribe. And if you're on my audio, make sure you download. You can check the link in the description box below to get you some merch straight out of a codependent relationship, y'all. So until then, y'all, I love you guys. And y'all be safe. We're going to do this again next episode. It's going to be fucking epic. I love you. Peace.